Regrettably, we do have to pay some fees, whether you take a course or you just test on your own with the Coast Guard. And the place to do that is pay.gov. Just pay.gov is the website. And right down here, pay a merchant mariner user fee. So we click on the pay a fee and it brings up our page. There's a little bit of data that you can read, but in essence, we're just going to continue to the form. And there's often a lot of questions about what has to go into these form numbers. The top part is pretty self-explanatory, all of your own data, your email address, etc. You will have to submit your social security number, or if you have a Merchant Mariner reference number, that's going to go in this category as well as which your regional exam center is. Right? So if you haven't already checked this out, there's a lecture talking about how to submit your application in the regional exam centers. But as a preview, these are all the major locations where you can submit your application to electronically. You don't have to go in person. So the most common questions here is, what do I have to click on regarding what fees to pay? So we're going to be most likely, if you're looking for your first captain's license, whether it's an operator of uninspected passenger vessels or a 100-ton master or somewhere in between, we're going to be looking for officer endorsements. And the type of endorsement is going to be an original officer endorsement. You can see here that there's renewals and upgrades and all kinds of other stuff, but you're going to look for an original officer endorsement. So there's no other additional endorsements required in this case. And your examination testing fees, this is where you get to have a choice. If you want to go and take a course, you're going to pay some money to the course provider. They're going to teach you what you need to know and get you to pass the tests, so you don't have to pay the Coast Guard any fees for that. Typically a course, we'll talk about later in this lecture, but the courses that you take are somewhere in the vicinity of $700 to $1,000 in order to do that. So the advantage to studying on your own is that your original lower level exam fee, which is what you're going to want to click on, is $95. Right? So you can save yourself a significant amount of time and money if you study on your own. Everybody has to pay the issuance fee, which is what the Coast Guard charges to print the books and to get all the data into your Merchant Mariner credential and sent over to you from there. So potentially you're looking at about $240 for your captain's license if you study on your own and test at a regional exam center. If you do take a course instead, obviously the fees that the Coast Guard charges are going to be less. $145 is your standard for that. But you do have to pay course tuition for whatever school provider you have. Another common question might be what these ratings are. Ratings is kind of a different path. If you're looking for your original captain's license, this is where you're going to want to start. And then later you can expand into different categories, whether it's STCW for international licenses, and different things like that. But that's a little overview of the fees that you have to pay. So you pay them through whatever method you prefer, and then you just have to submit evidence of payment to the Coast Guard. So you're going to want to send a screenshot of this or a receipt or an email confirmation that you've paid as part of your application in order to show them that you've paid. And then you won't get your Merchant Mariner credential unless you've paid, so you can't really game the system there.